Our children have no choice in whatever name they are given at birth. As a parent, you have the choice to give them any name of your choice in any language. Please also give them the opportunity to have a name in your language. So when they are older, they have a choice to use that name or not. Also, please give them the opportunity to carry on your family name. Hello everyone, my name is Mabel. I'm popularly known on this channel as Auntie Mabel. And if you are new to this platform, you are welcome to my channel. I'm currently doing a series on the barriers that you're likely to encounter when you are learning a new language. And this barrier can be very similar to when we are trying to learn about our cultural heritage and other aspects of our identity. So if you are not familiar with this series I'm doing, so please go back and watch the last 2-3 videos before this one, after you've watched this one, obviously. So I've covered a few videos already on the barriers around learning a new language, which is the role of the parents and the role of the young people or teenagers or older adults or whoever your age is that you haven't happened to learn the language from your parents. But today's video is a very special one, and it's a unique one because it's by special request from some of my followers or some of the young people, or young adults really, who have been following either my channel or this series of videos I'm doing. So this on our names. On our names. So I know this is a very broad topic about our names, but I'm going to try and curtail it around the areas which which of our particular concerns to this my young adults. So I will call them all my young adults because some of them might be much older adults, but they are all younger than myself. So they are young adults in my book. So what do they want me to talk about? I'm going to try and break this down in different forms, in different groups. So the first group I'm going to talk about, they said, first of all, is about their first name. As you all know, we're not present when our names are given to us. We are usually giving our names when we are babies. So we have no say. Technically, we have no say in our names that are given to us. So secondly, some of them also want to talk about the family names. And why is it that our Nigerian family names have become very polarized? I hope I'm getting that word right. So I'm going to talk about in different contexts. First of all, I'm going to present the young adults' views. And these young adults, you must take note that some of them are based in Nigeria. They've lived all their life in Nigeria, while some are in diaspora. So they have both got their different views of why they want this to be addressed now before it's too late. Then I will also give the view of the parents, because obviously I didn't want to be too judgmental. I didn't want to be judgmental actually. So I decided to speak to some parents whom I know that are able to give me their opinion why they gave certain names, why they do these things that these young adults are kind of querying. They are concerned about them. They also want me to kind of talk about in the context of our Nigerian, carrying on our history and our cultural, in context of our cultural heritage in short. So please, let's dive into this video as quickly as possible because it's a very, very interesting topic. And it's a topic that we need to address in a timely manner before it's too late. Right, first of all, some of the young adults who are between their teenagers, or they could be in their 40s or 20s or 30s. They're all various age groups. So they have said, okay, their first name, some of them don't have too much problem with their first name. Some feel that, okay, some parents have given them an English name, and they have a reason for that. Some are giving them their traditional names from whatever language they come from. For example, if they are from Esan, they have been given an Esan name. Some have both. Some, traditionally, as you all know, those of us, those in my generation, when I was growing up, almost all of us had our first name as English name, and why we have Esan name as our middle name, and then we have our surname as Esan name as well. So it was a common practice. So you will hardly see somebody of my generation that have a surname that is not from their, it's not their language name. I know there are very few, like the Humphreys or whatever in Yoruba land, probably in some other part of the world. But when I was growing up, I never saw anybody, I didn't see anybody at all who had an English name for a surname. So that is that. So anyway, so this is where we are now. Let's talk about the current state we are now in Nigeria. Some people still have their traditional name as their first name, and that's the only name they have. Some still have both the way it was passed down to us. Some parents still give it the same way, give their English name as their first name and give middle name as their traditional name and still answer their surname. Then, but now, what has become very common is that some young people, now let's start for the first name. Some people now have names that are very I don't know why they give those names. Some of the names you can hardly find anywhere. It's like some people everybody is trying to do each other to give a name that is less common. And when you now ask these people, where do you get that? Where is that name from? When they give you a certain name, you say, where is that name from? What's the meaning of that? You say, oh yeah, it was from one verse in the Old Testament. It's a Hebrew name. Then there are others who either will say, oh, by the time they dig out to the meaning of the name, they realize it's even either an Italian name or a Spanish name or a Portuguese name or a Welsh name or an Irish name, you know, you name it, names that have no correlation to them at all. So I'm not saying English name have correlation to us. Obviously, we were colonized by the English, so we know why our English name came from. So some now don't even know why they are giving those names. You have a right to give your child any name. But some of these young adults feel, and when they see even their younger siblings or their younger cousins having those obscure names, they feel they are going to be ridiculed, because you're going to go somewhere, especially when you are somewhere, people are going to ask you, where's your name from? You will say, oh, my parents gave it to me. Okay, I know some parents give name, they will say, oh, I saw that person in the movie or something. It's understandable. But that's not even such a big problem. You can choose to give, but it's the young people, some of them still want to have the option. Okay, let the jury be out here. The point, parents, let me make it clear. Our young adults are saying we should correct it now before it's too late. So whatever children you are having now, please give them the choice. Give them both, if it's English name or whatever name you want to give them, please still give them that traditional name, so that when they are older, they can choose to at least use their traditional name if that's what they prefer. So they have a choice to link that to their identity. Then the second thing is the surname. I find some of them are very kind of disappointed that most of their older sisters, they see get married, or older cousins or aunties or whoever that they look up to. They see them get married now. Some of them even, they are answering their husband's first name as their surname. For example, you will hear somebody say, I'm Janet Bernard. You know, because Bernard is the husband's first name. So when the children, when they start having children, the children are answering Joseph Bernard, Agatha Bernard. Then meanwhile, maybe their dad is answering Bernard Okoloese. So it's become, you hardly can even collate a family member. Before, there used to be a family unit when everybody answered the same surname. So, and the second part is, some parents are, some dads are even going further, that if, for example, it's a Bernard Okoloese, then they will now say, some of them will say their wife should answer Janet Ben, because all their friends know them as Ben hyphen Okoloese. And maybe the children are answering Bernard. Sometimes they might even be the children might even be answering John, maybe their father's middle name, which is an Esan name. So the whole thing is getting very confusing. So people can come from the same family. The children will have a different surname. Their father will have one surname. Then the mother will have a double barrel surname, which is probably maybe what's the common Esan surname now? Esan middle name they give to, say probably, let's say Ahigbe. That's the first name that come to my mind now. So, for example, mother will be answering Janet Okoloese. Then the children will now be answering Joseph Ahigbe. Some will even be answering maybe John Bernard. You know, I don't know if people get the gist. It's just becoming very polarized. And the problem is, the children are just saying, where is our heritage? Where is our cultural identity? Even our name is a very important part. We blame the British, they colonized us, they did this, they did that. In the first place, some of them, even especially children, young adults that are born in diaspora, they come home, they want to trace their history. We haven't got good record of history, because here they see on television, someone can trace their life, say this is your life. They can trace back to the 10th generation of their family, and even have archive, have record where they were born, where they died, what they did. But we don't even have that. But even the name, the family name that we can carry down to this generation, we are losing it again, all in the name of what? Because maybe I've spoken to some of the adults. Let me try and come to the parents' defense here. I know some of them are doing it again. This is the same thing we did in language that we didn't pass down to the children. It's still coming down to the same thing now, that we are now failing to pass down our family name to the next generation again. So let's do something about it. Even if we can, let's pass down both their first name and their family name of our from our language, from their town, place of birth, so they can easily trace that, they can identify with their people. If you are not even able to do that, at least let them answer your family name. Your family name is very important. Okay, let me try. The parents I've spoken to their defense, some of them said, oh, the grandfather's name, they answered the grandfather's name. The grandfather's name is far removed, so that's why they decided the children should answer their own Esan name. And I asked, whoever know you as that with that Esan name? Nobody, because they were known all their life of their first name and their English name. So not even somebody in the family, apart from very close siblings that even know know them by their nobody actually know them at all by that their first name, that their Esan name that their children are now answering. Then the other people did say that, oh, they were living in the north, so because of not to prevent the children being discriminated against, that is why they chose to give those names. I mean, to make the children answer their first name, probably. Some of them, maybe they're even Bernard. You can see their children will be answering Joseph Ben instead of Joseph Bernard. You know, it just make us look as if we don't even have link at all. We don't have connection. So sometimes, if an Hausa man see that name, they will still know that you are not Hausa anyway, because they will not give such name like that. So I know some of us are doing this out of ignorance or out of being naive again, just the way we did the language thing. So please, please, let's not fail our children with this. Let's try and redeem the time. You, the young adult that are coming up, please preserve your family name. Your family name is very important. Whether you're answering your great-great-great-grandfather's name, I'm sure people can easily trace you back. I know that wherever I am, once I hear an Esan person's name, because we are so far, we are so few, we like gold. Whenever we hear our name or know that somebody is from Esan, the way we will try and connect with that person. Your identity is very important. Where you come from is very important. It's not only negative. We don't have to see it as if we'll be discriminated against by where we come from. It's not the negative. There are a lot of positive about being connected to the place of your birth and to your people and being able to answer that name. This is another part of the argument. Some people also belong to the school of thought that some of the traditional names are difficult to pronounce. I think if we are really proud of our name enough, somebody will be able to pronounce it for us. Okay, if you even want to use the short version of it, that's fine. But at least you still know the full version. So if somebody still say, okay, if you say the first part of it, you can say, if you decide to use the first 4 letters, first five letters, you can easily tell the person, oh, this is the full meaning, this is the full name, and this is the meaning. A lot of people actually find our African name very interesting because of the meanings. Let me give you an example of this popular Nigerian author, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I hope I'm saying it right. Even if I don't say it right, everybody know who I'm talking about. Because of her popularity and how good she is in what she's doing, people have learned to pronounce her name. Okay, when they play tennis in Wimbledon in UK, all the people that come from Eastern Europe and Gorbachev and all the rest that come from Russia, their names are so difficult to pronounce. So most of their names are full of consonants, no vowels. But people are pronouncing those names. So please, let's try and preserve our names. Those of us who feel that you already missed the mark, missed the boat, your parents didn't give, you are not even answering your parents, your son and your father's family name. You are already answering their first name, and your first name is English. If you still want to find a way to change that, at least when you have children, give your children your name from your place. Let's start readdressing this. Those people who haven't missed the mark or still have their family names, please preserve it. Preserve it. It's very important for us to preserve our family names. I just don't know what else to say, and I know the young people have a lot to say on this, but I was actually going to have a panel, but I didn't really want to put them on the spot because some of them finding it difficult to tell their parents about how they exactly feel about the surname they have been meant to answer, and even the first name they have been given, the fact that they don't have any of their traditional names. So it can be a bit difficult for young people to face camera and query their parents. So I'm just trying to be a voice for the voiceless here. So I hope I haven't ranted too much in this video. It's something that is really deep into our culture that we can do something about. Please leave your comment. Tell me your views about what you think about names, whether it's really not important or whether it's important. And if you have made mistake in giving names or not using your surname, how you now feel that you can tell other people not to repeat your mistake. Just like how we are doing in our generation, we have failed to teach our children our language. We are trying not to make the next generation repeat the mistake. So tell the other generation around you, try and make it so that people around you don't repeat the same mistake. I'm not saying you can't give your children any first name you like, but please, let's preserve our family name. Please leave comments. I know sometimes when I say leave comments, I start ranting again. Please subscribe to my channel. if you've not subscribed already. We have more of this series that are coming, and more. There are still more questions that the young people have raised, the young adults have raised, and even some adults as well of my generation. There are things that they have raised as well, which they want us to address in this series. So there are more of this coming up, so you don't want to miss it. So please subscribe to my channel. Put your notification bell on so that you don't miss this more of these nuggets that are coming up in this series. And please give it a thumbs up. I'm sure you like something. Most likes to have liked something in this video. And please share. It's very important to share. And above all, please leave me comments. It's really important. Let's dialogue and discuss this. Yeah, that if whatever it is you want to say it. If you have more of this of our culture and our identity you want us to discuss in this series, please let me know as well. On that note, everyone, I will say Wabulu, which is thank you in Esan, and I will say Wakimbwe, which is goodbye in Esan. Wakimbwe, Wakimbwe.